Hey there, boxing fans. This is Ian Thomas, and this is the Mob Predictions. This week we will bring you Lyndon Arthur versus Davide Faraci, and this fight will take place at London's Royal Albert Hall and is on Saturday the 10th of July, live on BT Sport for the WBO Intercontinental Light Heavyweight title. So firstly, let's go through the tail of the tape. Lyndon Arthur comes into this fight 18-0 with 12 KOs. He's 30 years of age and he stands at 6'2" and he's an orthodox stance fighter. Faraci comes into this fight 15-0, 7 KOs at the slightly younger age of 29, slightly shorter at 6'1" and again an orthodox stance. So let's introduce the challenger, Davide Faraci. He was born in Switzerland but fights out of Italy. He's an unbeaten fighter and he's fought fighters with winning records, not journeymans, fighters that's hungry enough to test him, so he's decent in that respect, but I don't feel he has a great deal of experience in those fights that kind of pushes you for this type of challenge. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Arthur has either. He hasn't got the greatest CV when it comes to experience, but his fights against Adamu, Spellman and Yard are probably far better quality for this type of occasion that you need to go to the next level. I've not really seen a lot about Faraci, but from what I have seen, he does look comfy coming forward. He likes to pick those shots, land the decent jabs and look to switch to the body and hooks like many fighters. But I have noticed that he tends to drop his hands when coasting and does get hit a bit. His footwork can be slow and he looks very vulnerable when opponents launch their attacks with speed. So we'll be interested to see how he deals with Arthur come fight night. I'm not saying he's terrible at all these things. From what I've seen of him, he does put some good shots together. He's undefeated, so there's always that element of danger about him. Now, Lyndon Arthur. He's ranked number 1 with the WBO, and after his split decision win versus Anthony Yard, he's chasing his dreams to be a light heavyweight champion of the world. In his fight with Yard, he did the basics very well. He was composed and was picking off Yard when he was coming in looking to score those shots. One judge had it 111 to 117 to Yard, and I couldn't really see that one. I could see it was going either way. For me, I thought Arthur won the fight, and the other two judges scored it 115 to 114, which that's what I had, and I think it was spot on. But I understand where Yard looked confused. It could have gone either way, maybe even a draw, but it's definitely a fight I'd like to see. What I did like in that fight, I thought Arthur did very well keeping Yard at bay. With his jab, countering shots and moving, it was so easy for him to get mixed up with a domestic rival and go all out swinging and get caught. But as I said, he was very composed and it was Arthur that got the win. Yard will want a rematch. He's called for it a few times. Obviously, he's going to be on the undercard of this fight. I can see why it was close, like I said, but it's great to see two British light heavyweights fighting for the number 1 spot. Maybe Arthur can go on and win a world title, and then we can look for a rematch then for the championship belt. 2 domestic light heavyweights, that'll be definitely on the cards. I think Arthur's come out and said that he'd like Joe Smith Jr. and he's on his radar, but for me, I think you've got to be careful of overlooking Faraci. So many fighters do this and they do get caught, but if Arthur does come through this test, then you've got Beterbiev, Bivol, Ramirez, Vlasov. There's the world's his oyster, wins a title. You know, it's going to be a difficult feat because they are great champions, but his aim is to get through this fight and potentially win a world title, maybe then call Yard up and have a domestic dust-up. So yes, I have my doubts about Faraci's record, but he is unbeaten and he is coming to win. He's not tasted defeat and that makes him very dangerous. For me, I'd like Arthur to go and make a statement like he did in his fight against Andre Soldra. Maybe not as quick, but kind of a hit and hurt Faraci and then finish the job. I can see this fight being very cagey to start. Both men looking to see what's coming, gauging the range. Arthur maybe looking to edge back with his right hand tucked up to his chin while throwing that left jab. But I do think he'll be able to keep Faraci at bay. Faraci's movement is not great coming around. He can switch hit, but he doesn't do it as often as I'd like. But he needs to keep him away with that jab. and then move in when the opening presents itself. For me, I wouldn't like Arthur to allow Faraci to get into the fight, get into rhythms, get his shots off. I think you need to attack Faraci and then back him up immediately with those shots. As I said, Faraci looks very uncomfy when pressure is coming his way. And if Arthur can do this early on in the fight, then I believe he'll be able to stop his man and get the win and then move on. So there's my prediction. I think Arthur's going to win via technical knockout in rounds 4 to 7. Let's say he's going to knock him out round 5. Hope you enjoyed the prediction. Please let us know in the comments below who you think will win the fight. This is Ian Thomas on behalf of the Mob Predictions. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.